This is the Vic Feazell Show podcast, hosted by Vic Feazell and Jonathon Zimick, sponsored by Moroso Wood-Fired Pizzeria and Pinewood Coffee Roasters.
This is your co-host, Jonathon, and Vic is actually returning a little later today from a trip out to sunny Florida, one I guess he forgot to buy my ticket to. But he will not be in, so I'm going to cover just a little bit today and give you a little bit as far as what's going on and the behind the scenes at Fort Feazell and what interesting and fun stuff is percolating. So to start off, today is the first day we're releasing our first big video on our YouTube channel. So if you can go to YouTube, search Vic Feazell or The Vic Feazell Show, it'll pull up our channel. And today we released the video from the Laguna, California speech. So if you listen to that past episode, you can actually watch the video now, which has a little bit more in it than what we put into the actual podcast episode. So why not get a visual now? And as we move forward, we are going to continue to put more and more content on YouTube. Right now, all of our past podcast episodes, you can now stream them on YouTube, but we're also going to be posting up some of the interviews that we've done with people back in 2019 even. We filmed a number of the interviews with some of our guests, and we'll be editing those and putting those up here pretty soon. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. When you go to YouTube and you find our channel, there's actually a little subscribe button. Go ahead and click that. That way you know when we post new videos and episodes. And in other news, our coffee. Oh, it's finally time to release the hounds on that. So we're going to be roasting our first batch the first week of February. So keep an eye on vicfeazell.com on the store page, as we're going to be putting up the bags of coffee there. And what we've decided is every month we're going to have a rotating charity that we're going to be donating these proceeds to. And the charities that we're looking into really cover the fields of wrongful convictions, forensic testing, prison reform. So things that can directly impact things like unsolved Henry cases or, the everyday missteps of the legal justice system. If you really want to help out, continue to listen to the podcast, but also go to vicfeazell.com and go to the store page. And come February, go ahead and buy some coffee. There's nothing wrong with coffee. You can listen to the podcast. You can have your coffee. We'll even send you a coaster. Then we can put your cup on the coaster and listen. I mean, you can't beat that. It's like we're just giving it away. We can hardly keep the lights on around here. And of note as well, on the vicfeazell.com store page, make sure you check out the other merchandise we have, because we do have coffee coasters, we have stickers, we have bumper stickers, and we also have some really cool t-shirts. And the t-shirts have been just flying out of here. I'm packaging up like multiples a day, sending them all over the country. And, I'd jump on the bandwagon. If I were you and you were me, I would do the exact same thing. I would get right on there and buy like 3 of them. Or maybe just get 7 of them. Wear one for every day of the week. Because why wouldn't you? And that brings me to some of the really cool reviews that have come in the last couple weeks. So let me read a couple of these real quick. So this is from a gentleman by the name of Tommy Cooper. And he says, Vic, I just watched the Henry Lucas Netflix series. I have a question. Did the Texas Ranger Task Force ever put some faked up murder cases with victim pictures and phony crime scene photos in front of Lucas and ask him if he committed any of them? If so, did he claim he was responsible for any of the phony cases? And Vic responded. He says, Hi, Tommy. No, the Rangers never put a fake case in front of Lucas to see if he'd confess to it. They didn't want to know. A woman policeman from Dallas, Linda Irwin, put together a fake murder file, took it down to Lucas, and he confessed to it. And this part is in the Confession Killer documentary, if you have seen it. However, she only told her supervisors, and they kept quiet and let the Rangers continue racking up their totals. She and the Dallas Police Department were unwilling to violate the law enforcement brotherhood. I was the first to step across the thin blue line, and I suffered the consequences of my decision. The full power of the deep state was unleashed against me, orchestrated by Colonel Jim Adams, former deputy director of the FBI and head of the domestic spy program, the program that kept files on civil rights activists, war protesters, politicians, and the ones who put the tape recorder under Martin Luther King's bed. The Confession Killer left out the fact that the government came after me 2 more times, trying to arrest me. When they weren't able to accomplish that, they changed the tax code and made a retroactive 5 years just to get at my libel verdict. I fought it to the Supreme Court of the United States and ultimately lost everything I had. That's why I'm still working today. That was Tommy Cooper and Vic's response to Tommy Cooper's email to us. And here's another one. This is from Bobby. So Bobby said, "Hey Vic, I listened to all of your podcasts and it was amazing. The person you mentioned, the campus boy who died, was Harry Markle, which, if anybody has listened to the last couple of our episodes, Vic was talking about how he got into the University of Mary Hardin Baylor when it was mostly a female school. There's only a small off-campus, I believe is what he said, house. And the only reason Vic got in is because one of the guys who went to school there had died. So this is in response to that. So Bobby says that he actually knew this gentleman who died. His name was Harry Markle. And Bobby continues, "We were best friends from first grade all the way to UMHB. I did not realize you got into school that way. That's amazing. God has used you in some powerful ways because you have made a commitment to always doing what is right." What a powerful message. Thank you for sharing this podcast, Vic. I love you and continue to pray for you. That's from Bobby. And then here is one more, and this is from a Nancy. So Nancy said she just finished listening to the last of our podcast episodes, and she said, "What an excellent job of giving the real you to the world. I may have a few tears in my eyes. I'm going through a brand new spiritual and emotional phase right now after a breakthrough with my son. I feel empty, but ready to fill my spirit. I'm going to do all I can to restart right now. And brother, you are a shining star leading my way. Much big love being sent through this tiny handheld device while I learn, again, to do what's right." So anybody who listened to Vic's Laguna speech has the opportunity again to now watch it on YouTube today, because it's gone live today. And that's what Vic's big message was in that speech, was you have to have the courage to do what's right. Not what's always easy. And that brings me to my final point today, which is what's coming down the pipeline, what's coming next. We have been very busy digging through archived audio and video and documents and all sorts of good stuff, putting together this next series of episodes all about the deep state. And we look at it through the viewpoint of what happened to Vic and how the deep state ganged up on him when he started to expose what was behind that curtain. So I'm very proud of what's coming down the line, and we have a lot of work into it to make it really, really cool. So I think you'll be very happy with how those episodes are going to come out, and we're going to start releasing them here in probably a week or two. So keep your hand on the dial and don't miss them.
Thank you for listening to the Vic Feazell Show podcast. We're a primary source podcast. We talk about people we've known, things we've experienced. We're a primary source podcast. For more information, visit vicfeazell.com. Leave us a comment or a review. Subscribe to our YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook pages. And thank you for listening. Share us with your friends.
This is Texas singer-songwriter Brian Burns, and I've been to Waco, Hico, Hondo, Navasota, Winsboro, Jacksboro, Hillsboro, Santa Rosa, Austin, Houston, Galveston, Texarkana, Frisco, Buffalo, Conroe, Corsicana, and that's just in the last week. Keep a safe pace, folks. Relax and drive laid back, because Texas is a laid-back place. And if you've been in a car wreck, call Vic Feazell at 877-WITH-VIC.
With principal offices in Waco and Austin, Texas.